Hello, babies.
You want to try and do Brady?
Yes.
Oh, we're not going to try. We're going to do Brady.
We're going to do Brady.
We're going to do Brady. We're going to do Brady. We're going to do him right.
Yeah.
Regardless of the fact that he's on the list and he's dead to us. We touched on this in our previous podcast. The fucking Brady conundrum that I'm in. I'm only going to talk personally here because I know, Bill, you have your point of view, and Ray, I know you have a developing point of view. I'm not on the Brady is dead to me train. Totally. Okay. I'll support the show, and as a show, Brady is dead to us. But me personally, I can compartmentalize between the two things with Brady with the Patriots and how that ended. In 16-17, his relationship with Belichick, and how Belichick did him dirty, and then how 18-19, Brady turned into a diva little bitch. And now in 2020 is talking about his fucking TB12 coconut water and working out down in Tampa, and COVID can affect him, and only thing to fear is fear himself, and how I just kind of want him to fucking shut up and go away, because I would love to continue to support Tom Brady as the greatest quarterback ever, greatest Patriot ever, in our history with Tom Brady, but it's becoming harder by the day because of his stupid bullshit antics.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we're here to talk about tonight.
Can I ask you real quick? Where do we rank national disasters from Pearl Harbor to COVID? Where do we go on the list? Can I ask you?
I don't know. I mean, that's, you just kind of brought that up there, Bill. I don't think that was in the fucking email.
No,
Yeah,
it
it wasn't
wasn't.
an email, Bill.
But when the only thing we can fear is fear itself. I think.
Okay. I see where you're getting at. I
Rain
see what you
Man.
did there, Rain Man.
Comparing this to COVID, dead to me.
Yeah, no, it's hard for me to come off that take. Ray, you got anything you want to get off your chest before we dive into this tonight?
I just wish you would shut the fuck up, because come December, when I'm wearing that goddamn jersey, he needs to lay off this shit, because this is my life on the line now.
And for those of you who are just tuning in now, Ray, as we speak today, not when we release it, but today as we're recording it, Ray lost a bet. He was garnished a bet to hit a baseball in fair territory in a batting cage. He had 10 swings at 85, which inevitably ended up being 75 miles an hour. He failed to do it in 14 swings. So now he has to wear his brand new Brady Buccaneers jersey that he bought the day Brady signed with the Bucs, because he is
Piece of shit.
what you would call a classic piece of shit. And we're going to make him lose
Me
a
or
limb.
Brady?
Maybe a kid.
Both.
You in
okay.
Foxborough, the first home game we can get to, Gillette Stadium. You're gonna wear that jersey, and someone's gonna rip your kidney out at some point. Something
Probably
terrible
Bill.
is
Probably
going to
Bill.
happen to you, and it's probably going to be done by Bill.
Oh, I'm definitely gonna throat fuck you in that day too.
You usually pass on the ride home, so I'm fine.
But today we're here to talk about Tom Brady and our experience with him as a New England Patriot. This is where you're getting the best quality sports talk that you can get, because after all of the bullshit we just laid out for you for what Tom Brady's doing, we're going to put that aside, even though we've been drinking all fucking day, and we're going to compartmentalize our love and hate situation for Thomas Edward Brady, and we're going to bring you deep into the cortex of the Brady Boner Hour. So strap in, folks. We're going to talk about all things good Brady's done for us since 2001 to now. I guess not till now, till a couple years ago. So here we go.
This is where our sponsors go.
America's new choice for drinks.
TB12 Foundation for $199. So you want
Fuck TB12.
you can get
TB12 Foundation for kids that don't read so good.
Are you fat?
Welcome to the Superman Sports Show.
The only reason I said that is because we were just talking about it yesterday. Me and a friend were bullshitting on Zoolander, and that was one of the things.
Oh, that's a great. Yeah,
That's what I was getting at. The kids that don't read good.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant. We should get a free subscription to that as graduates of Raymond High School.
No, because if you ever watched Zoolander 2, I know nobody did, but they made it out of popsicle sticks, so the first person that stepped in it, the whole school collapsed.
Stupid is as stupid does, sir.
I hate how you put that under my fucking shit sometimes.
No, we got to get rid of that.
Oh,
I want to
God,
hear.
do I
No,
hate that.
First of all, I put it in under everybody's shit.
Yeah, mine
you
too.
just get it more often, Ray, because you're the dumbest.
I want to hear it Ray's moaning when, instead of stupid is as stupid does. That's what I want to hear.
Was it that bad?
Oh, it was bad.
We'll see. We might be able to isolate some of that audio. For now, boys, maybe we can use some of that audio in a positive light on this segment, on this topic, as we talk about Tom Brady and our favorite goddamn moments. Let's just start out broad. First thing that comes to mind when you think of our experience and our fandom of the New England Patriots and Tom Brady at the helm, and let's lay it out. We're all 35-ish, 34-ish, mid-30s, and Tom Brady came at a time where sports was important, and we dedicated our life to playing sports, following sports. It was everything to us, and the Patriots and football was everything to us. And 2001, Brady won that championship, and it was glorious from there. So as Boston sports fans, boys, we got it fucking good. I think we all need to acknowledge that, and Brady's been the best of them all. So, Bill, just what's your favorite memory of Brady and the Patriots?
First time I thought Brady was for real, the Carolina Super Bowl. You know, you could think if you look at, you know, I think some of you guys will say 0-1, you know, St. Louis figured it was kind of a fluke. You know, the next year you don't make the playoffs, start 13-2-2. You're like, okay, well, we got a lucky ship, right? And then you finish 14-2, and you had your second game-winning drive in a Super Bowl. That was fucking Ray. No, that was when it was like, okay, like we got a guy here. Not because he won the second ship, but the fact that you have two game-winning drives in Super Bowls. Like, you saw that fire. You saw that, like, when the game's on the line, we got the best, most clutch quarterback of all time, and you could see it early on because no situation was too big for him, right?
Right.
You know, and you see 2-2. I think they lost to the Redskins in 2003 to go 2-2, and then Tom Jackson from ESPN came out and said they hate their coach.
Was that 2009?
No. They won 21 straight games.
Was it 2002?
No, it's 2003. They started 2003? After they lost the first game because they cut Lawyer Malloy. That Drew Bledsoe game, they lost.
Oh, you're right.
31
yeah,
nothing.
You're right.
They came out and said that. They start 2-2, and you're looking at it and go, man, we just lucked into a Super Bowl 2 years ago because you missed the playoffs the year before, and then you go 14-2, and then you saw Brady in that Super Bowl and that playoff run. Even that Pitt game before that too, is you saw him. Okay, we got a quarterback here.
So that was your affirmation that Brady was the deal.
But that was coming from a Bledsoe guy. You know, we've said it in our sports fan podcast or whatever that, like, Rich, you and I are Bledsoe guys. So we had a
through and through
Bledsoe. So, I mean, if you're looking, and I said it too, it's like I wanted Bledsoe to start Super Bowl. Why? Because Brady was hurt. So they got rid of him the next year. So it's like we were not forced to be Brady fans, but when our guy goes down and it's gone, we got to make
2001 was, we've talked about this, Bill. 2001 was a conflict for us with Brady taking over, Bledsoe being hurt, and then coming in, then Brady getting hurt in the Pittsburgh game, and Bledsoe leading them to the Super Bowl in that one game, and then Brady coming back. Definitely. I think everybody will have that same thing. The 2003 Carolina season and what they did, the affirmation of Tom Brady being a top quarterback in the league and your starting quarterback for the New England Patriots, Super Bowl winner. That was when the talk started with Tom Brady's a winner. Tom Brady's a winner, right? And that was Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning and stats and winning and things like that. And obviously, 04 and beyond really started to cement that in. I guess what I would ask though, is there one thing in that time, Bill, that something jumped out in terms of a favorite memory or I guess you said it, Carolina Super Bowl, the second game-winning drive in a Super Bowl. Yeah, that's a big one, right?
Or the Tennessee game in the early. It was the coldest game in history, the Foxborough's history, and Brady's throwing ducats to Bethel Johnson to close out a game.
Yeah, good call. Right.
I mean,
yeah. No, that is good. No, Brady came into his own, man. And we can get into when Brady became Brady later. But Ray, what do you have a favorite memory? Does something jump out to you in that 03 series, or do you go somewhere else? Or do you go somewhere else?
I go somewhere else because, as Bill said, you guys were Bledsoe guys. I despised Drew Bledsoe. Despised him.
Get fucking bent, dude.
Yeah.
So September 23rd, 2001, 5:03 left in the fourth quarter. Jets up 10-3. Drew Bledsoe scrambles for a first down. Mo Lewis knocks him out of the game, ruptures his spleen, and so begins the Brady era. That is where it began for me because I fucking hated Drew Bledsoe. And anything under center was going to be a win for me, and that's why I am a Tom Brady fan, and I hated Drew Bledsoe. Go ahead, Bill. Yep, go ahead.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Yep.
So you turned into a Tom Brady fan after that. His first start, what of 13 to 23 for 100,
0 touchdowns? I know, 44 points against
a sack. But what did he show you in a 13 for 23 for under 200-yard game?
Because he didn't hold the ball for 10 fucking seconds.
Drew Bledsoe.
He didn't hold the ball for 10 seconds to get sacked like Drew Bledsoe did every fucking game. He got rid of the ball.
Tiebreaker, Rich?
No, Tom Brady's better than Drew Bledsoe. That's a crazy fucking scenario, Bill. But I just want to say that Mo Lewis game, my mama and my papa, they were in the stands, 50-yard line, about halfway up at Old Foxborough Stadium. And my mother tells it to this day. It's the last game she's been to, probably the first game she went to in 30 years. And she said, I could hear that hit.
Wow.
50 yards up at the 50-yard line. Let's remember that Drew Bledsoe had internal bleeding in that game. Came back and played that series. So for you to shit on our fucking savior, Drew Bledsoe, Ray, you can burn in hell. Yes, clearly Tom Brady is better than Drew Bledsoe. Was he better in 2001? I don't know. Probably not, to be honest with you. But
he won a Super Bowl.
Down to the Super Bowl, and allow me to present you my favorite memory, which I asked you, two idiots, and none of you could give me a fucking firm answer. My favorite memory of Tom Brady is 2001 New England Patriots, 2 minutes left to win the Super Bowl, tied against the greatest show on turf. Tom Brady goes and wins them the fucking Super Bowl. If you can't come out with that as an answer, look, I know he's got a lot. He's got 20 years of fucking awesome memories. I can put a lot on my list. But 2001, you're talking about I'm a 14-year-old kid sitting in my basement watching this game with my parents and their friends who have come over for every fucking Patriots game on Sunday for several years in a row, even when they sucked balls, even when they're the worst team in the league. And now there's a chance for them to win the Super Bowl. It's February. Pat Summerall is falling asleep calling the game. John Madden tells him to take a knee, and Brady dishes to J.R. Redmond, throws an 18-yard out to Troy Brown, throws it to fucking Jermaine Wiggins to put him in the field goal range, and Vinatieri kicks that thing through with no time left on the clock, and my father goes in the garage and rears his fucking Harley for 25 minutes because New England is celebrating, boys. New England is celebrating. If that's not on the top 3 of Tom Brady's greatest accomplishments as basically a rookie quarterback, balls of steel, ice in his veins, That top three. Can we agree? Can we agree on that?
We agree, and I know you're going to cut this, but this is the second time we did this, and Ray and I did not want to shit on this take that you just did.
Yeah, because
this is why we didn't pick this, okay? Yep. We're not dumb. We know good audio. Okay?
We know media.
So we were waiting for this take that you're giving.
Here's the thing you don't know about me. I'm not going to cut this. It's all going to stay. It is the second time we've done it because the first time we did it, the audio sucked. So anybody who's been listening to the Simple Mind Sports Show for more than a week knows that we basically lose audio once or twice a week. This is no exception. I appreciate you assholes changing your game up a little bit, but it was like a month ago, and we can dive back into your same thing.
You're talking about Rain Man, though. Rain Man doesn't forget that shit.
Look. I want to talk about memories. I want to talk about shit that hit you deep down in the fucking plums, that just grabbed you by the ball sack and said, Tom Brady's the fucking man. God damn it. We have Tom Brady. And 2003, I agree with you, Bill. I agree with you. Tom Brady came into the league, and people needed to know his name for sure. And as a Patriots fan, you went, fuck, we got our quarterback. But that's not a memory, right? That's an affirmation. So give me something. Give me a memory. Give me something that the listeners can go, oh, fuck, yeah, I remember that. That was great. That was awesome. I remember that game.
San Diego, first touchdown pass, Terry Glenn. Tom Brady's first touchdown pass in the NFL was to Terry Glenn. Look it up, Ray, because you gave me a dumbfounded look on your face, but it's true. Came down.
Oh, he just farted. That's fine.
Against Doug Flutie. You want to talk about good memory? I mean, you want to talk about comeback. Drove the team down for a Vinatieri field goal late in the game or overtime. I don't remember the exact specifics, but that's when, I mean, you saw the drive. You're trailing late in that game. You saw the first inkling of our guy, right?
Yeah.
You saw the first thing of the clutch gene. You look at clutch all year. New Orleans that year too. He's throwing a fucking touchdown passes to his fullback in the back of the end zone in the rain. You remember the Jets game, 12-7 game that year, if I'm not mistaken, where he's leading his team down late in the game.
Is that not sorry to interrupt your Bill and keep going, but is that not the greatest thing to define Brady in his first half of his career? Who's the best receiver you had? The open one?
Yeah, for sure.
Isn't that such a fucking, isn't that why we rooted for Tom Brady? We started this segment bitching about how much of a diva and just piece of shit that Tom Brady has really kind of, I don't want to say become. I don't want this to turn into a shit on Tom Brady but he has become fucking kind of insufferable off the field. But
now, yes,
sure. But think about those first. I mean, what a fucking guy to root for. Oh man, what a guy to root for. No, he doesn't put up the stats. No, he's not throwing for 3 touchdowns in the first quarter like Peyton Manning. But guess what? In the fourth quarter, when you need something, we went 20 years. We went 20 years without worrying if you were going to be able to get the game-winning touchdown or field goal that you needed if you had the ball. Think about that. 20 years. If you had the ball at the end of the game, our confidence was pretty goddamn high. Our confidence was pretty freaking high. What a thing to live with.
In 01, outside of Troy Brown, name another wide receiver.
What?
Wait, what?
In 01, outside of Troy Brown, name another wide receiver on that
Wiggy.
team. Wide receiver, you dumb fuck.
Ray, wide receiver starts with a W.
Oh, I thought it started with a T.
It's one of these. It goes up, down, up, down, up, down.
I'm just trying to reiterate your point here, Rich, though. If you think about the open guy, Charles Johnson, I think.
Terry Glenn.
He got cut after game 7.
You said it was his first TD pass, so fuck.
Ray, do you have a favorite memory? Ray, what's your favorite memory? Can you tell the story of the 2014 fucking game that you guys were at? Because I love that.
No, I'll let Bill say it because Bill says it better. So I'm going to go different.
Fine.
I'm going to go 2007.
Okay.
Their 16-0 season.
The season that should not be talked about, but we're going to talk
about it. Bill, my parents, and a bunch of Bill's friends were at PJ O'Sullivan's watching the game.
Bill's wife.
Yes, Bill's wife as well. That was the game that Tom Brady also broke the single-season passing touchdown record. Randy Moss got the single-season touchdown record for receivers. The place was electric. Everyone was standing, cheering. I mean, that was just one of those things where I don't think any other fan base could actually talk about, because it was just one of those things like your team is the greatest of all time. Like, you just did so many things. You just broke so many records. Now you're undefeated in the season. Now you just have the best quarterback to throw as many touchdowns as he did in the regular season. Randy Moss had an incredible year, 23 touchdowns as a receiver. I mean, that was like the most electric, like high-fiving strangers,
Yeah.
drinking your ass off in a bar. I mean, that was great because
That's
it was
what-
on the road. It was on the road. It was in New York. So it was just one of those things where you're just like, this is fucking awesome. Like, you just look at it and take it in and just be like, this is fucking amazing right now. I mean, you have the best quarterback and wide receiver tandem of all time. I mean, that really got it for me.
Can we pour one out to PJ O'Sullivan's?
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, PJ.
Respect.
No, that you're right, Ray. That moment is I remember it specifically
Me too.
because Brady broke the record and Ross broke the record on the same touchdown, which is kind of people don't really talk about that, how like kind of I don't know what the word is, but for that to happen on the same touchdown is kind of fucking cool, you know? And to do it in a week 17 game where clearly
You had nothing to play for.
there was no qualms about what was going on. The Patriots didn't give a fuck. They said, we're going for
Yeah,
undefeated.
they wanted to win.
And everybody that ran up to him knew they were going for undefeated because of Spygate. And everybody that ran up to him that entire season gave him the best fucking shot that they had. And there
Dude,
was
think
one
about
team that got to the best of them. But that 2017 Giants team gave them a run for their money, man. That Week 17 game was a
That's how they knew they were going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that probably honestly, if we really want to dig into it, probably hurt the Patriots in the Super Bowl
Oh,
by
fuck yeah.
a normal Belichick team lays down, does not put anything on tape, and that
Doesn't show
in
them
that Super
anything.
Bowl,
Yeah.
and they come out with some wrinkles in 27. But come on, like everybody in 2007, I know that they were slowing down into the playoffs, and the playoffs were a little bit of a grind for them. But they were fucking covering 23-point spreads on the weekly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, everybody
Brady high
was
ankle
riding
sprain,
high.
though. Don't forget that. Brady was
I
hurt
know
that
Brady
game.
high ankle sprain, and their offensive line sucked, and the defensive line of the Giants is owed an
amazing.
immense amount of credit.
Justin
That
Todd,
won them,
Strahan.
and the referee who did not call.
Eli down
in the
Jarvis
grass
Green, Jarvis
when-
Green. Can I bring up
I think it
one
was
more?
Seymour, wasn't it?
No, it was Jarvis Green, 97.
Rain
Bet
Man.
on it. Bet on
Rain-
it. Bet on Ray, look this up real quick why I make this point. The 50th touchdown, the play before, Brady overthrew Randy Moss by like 30 yards. And you know what they did? The next fucking play, they went back to the same exact thing, and there was Brady. There was Moss running in the end zone. Because
Their confidence was so high. I'm still baffled by how Randy Moss got as open as he got, because when you watch him run and cut and run his routes, it's like
he runs two routes.
I know, but no, yeah, he
Down
ran
the
more,
field and then
he
up
ran
and
more with the
over.
Patriots, but either way, like how do you not like just stay on top of them? It was insane. This actually brings up a kind of thing I want to bring up is how good the Patriots were before and after.
See his face? He knows I'm right.
Yeah, you're right.
I told you. Fuck
And
off.
fucking Rain Man.
Fuck off.
How good the Patriots were, specifically after 2007, but also before, and how ridiculous this dynasty is in sports, that 2007 would have crushed most franchises. 2007, 18-1, going to the Super Bowl and blowing the perfect season would have dismantled most franchises. And instead, it took a little bit, but came back, went to 6 more fucking Super Bowls, like 9 more AFC championships, 5 more Super Bowls.
Who's up now, bitch? I know the math.
I like how he Rich was like pause and like wait a second, is he right, that
5?
motherfucker?
I was counting this year. Instead of
Went to 9 total.
Oh
with Brady.
yeah.
either way. The point I'm trying to make is the fact that 2007 is not brought up more when you talk about the New England Patriots as a failure to do something incredible or as the best team ever. It's just kind of lost in the haze of how good the Patriots were for 20 fucking years, and Tom Brady is 50% of that in my mind. I know.
I mean, if you look at today's dynasties or the dynasties of the NFL, the Niners won a lot of their championships in a short amount of time. Outside of the 95 one, there was a little gap there. Pittsburgh won 4 out of 6, and then won 2 with Ben. Right, Ben's got 2.
Cowboys.
The Cowboys won a bunch they won 2 early, and then they won their 3. Right, you look at it as dynasty aspects. You won 3 in the early 2000s. You waited 13 years, and you won 3 more. Like, that just shows you longevity of a dynasty.
You waited
Incredible.
10 years, you idiot.
That's 10.
Hey, don't tell numbers with Bill.
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever, Bill. Don't worry.
Come on, Rain Man. Just fucking.
You're right, Bill. Don't worry about it.
1404.
But either way, I'm just saying, like, you see, like, you don't see teams go 3 and like, you don't see teams go like
it's the greatest
2 separate dynasties. If you
and that's only defining it by the championships, because the success that was had in the middle, they were still the best. They were still considered the best team in the
and
NFL
you lost 3
in
Super
preseason.
Bowls.
Every single you went to 3-1, you lost them. So they were still considered the top of the NFL in that gap of winning. So just really the greater point to that to me was 07 just gets lost in the wash when it really would be the hallmark, good or bad, of any other franchise. Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, tell us the 2014 game.
That's what, like, you said, most memorable. This is one of my top of my list, is because I was there.
With me.
The 2014
He forgets about it, right?
divisional round champion. What?
I was there with you, you dink.
Okay.
Include me in this conversation, you prick.
Can you let me finish before I include other people?
Okay, go ahead.
It did seem like you were just going to avoid the fact that you were with Ray.
No, this is part of the story.
Okay,
Ray
go
is
on.
part of the story.
I'm sorry. You should not interrupt a generational storyteller.
Dude,
The likes of Billy Trashcan.
Raymond.
I did go with Ray, my dad, and a friend's brother, which was his first game ever. You started out the game 14-0, Baltimore. Come back 14-14. You're down 28-14. Stadium is quiet as I've ever been to a Gillette. You bust out some fucking illegal formations. They deemed them illegal later, but at the time they weren't. Started coming back, but that Julian Edelman pass, everyone's always said whatever game they've been to, it's been the loudest ever. That stadium was physically shaking.
Mm-hmm.
Physically shaking. And I think Zolak even said it in I think the post game, whatever, or on the radio. And it was like, I've never seen it as loud.
Heard it.
I've never. And he said that you could literally, if you look at the cameras for not NESN, but NBC, you can see the cameras. After that Edelman pass, you can see the cameras shaking. Like, I've been to a shit ton of games, 4 or 5 AFC championship games, and that was by far the best, most exciting game I have ever been to.
Agreed.
Ever been to. And, like, just to see Brady in action come back from 2 14-point deficits, and that dart he threw to Brandon LaFell in the corner of the end zone.
One of the best throws I've ever seen.
And not only one of the best throws I've ever seen, one of the best catches I've ever seen. Brandon LaFell catches that one hand on his hip.
Well,
with a man in his face. Like,
I'll tell you what, though. Good catch. Fucking way better throw.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking way better throw. Does not break stride.
Nope.
Basically puts his hand out and cups it on his hip. Yeah, nice catch. Good catch, but dude.
That's the greatest
name me
throw
another
Brady's ever thrown.
Name me another quarterback that does that. I mean, those are the type of things as we move into a new era that we're really, really going to have to adjust with. We really have become just taking advantage or accustomed to the type of throws that we think are normal. When you go watch any other fucking NFL game, for the most part, and the precision, the absolute precision Tom Brady had and still has probably as an NFL quarterback is quite honestly unmatched. I mean, that's the biggest thing I take away from Tom Brady as a quarterback is the precision. Go watch some of the balls that he throws to Julian Edelman. Watch some of those balls that he throws to Edelman. Like, just inches, man. Inches to get those things in there. And that Baltimore game is a perfect example of I was never – don't get me wrong. I'm always worried because we're New England fans, and we always think that the worst is going to happen all the time in every fucking scenario. Brady gets the ball, we think he's gonna fumble it and whatever. So it wasn't that I was not worried. It was that I had confidence that Brady could win the game in any situation he's given at any point in time. The worry in that era of Patriots football was the fucking Ravens and Joe Flacco are throwing on you and dicing you up by the tune of 14-point leads in both halves. Can you stop them? And the greater point here is I had confidence in Tom Brady. When they got to a tie, I was like, oh, fucking, we're okay. We're in a good situation now. So I believe Brady could win it. I believe Brady could win. I believe Brady can win any fucking game that he's in. Being
at that game, though, Rich, like, Ray and I talked about it, and I told Ray, I was like, you're down the first 14, you come back 14-14, you're like, all right, we got a shot with this. But when you're down 28-14 mid to late third quarter, I told Ray, I'm like, dude, I don't –
oh, yeah, we had Benny Cox, yeah.
I'm like, I don't know if we can do this. Like, it's not that I'm doubting Brady. I was doubting the defense more at the time because you want to talk about
I'm pretty sure that's what I just said, Bill.
No, I know, but you want to talk about Joe Flacco carving up a defense – Brandon Browner, Revis, Logan Ryan, Kyle Arrington was the starting, and they were money all season until that Baltimore game. And Patrick Chung was there too, Devin McCourty. But when we got fucking Owen Daniels catching fucking ducats in the back of the end zone, you're like, all right.
Owen Daniels was ripping us apart in that game.
Justin Forsett was
that fucking Owen Daniels, and the second that the last touchdown by Owen Daniels, I did think, oh fuck.
Yeah, that made it 20. Yeah, it made it 28-14, and there was no fight from Patrick Chung in the back of that end zone. And you're looking at it going,
wasn't even close.
Do we have any shot at this? Even when they were fucking took the lead, I'm like, Joe Flacco's going to come back until he throws a duck at the fucking Devin McCourty.
Well, that's your classic Joe Flacco, which brings me in my next point. What is Tom Brady's best game? Because most will say, and I will agree with them, 2014 run, Seattle Seahawks, 2014 Super Bowl, I will consider his best game.
I think it was
because of the competition.
Yep.
Because of the competition and the adversity that he faced. Some of it to his own fault because of a stupid red zone interception that he threw in the first drive, and a second bad interception that he threw to help him with the linebacker, stud linebacker.
Not Bobby Wagner, but
I think it was Bobby Wagner.
It was Bobby Wagner.
It was Bobby Wagner.
Bruce Irvin went to the Raiders. Yeah, Bobby Wagner.
Yeah.
Bobby
so
Wagner.
Two real bad interceptions. And anybody and this is my real greater point I have in Brady's career. A lot of people will bring this up that his postseason numbers are a little bit skeptical from time to time, and he didn't always have the greatest games. And what I'll say to them is, you're right. He's thrown interceptions in games that they've won more often than not. And the fucking trait of Tom Brady is it doesn't matter. It does not matter. That's why Tom Brady is Tom Brady, because he will come back over and over and over and over. And if he made a bad play before, he will make 10 times the plays beyond that to come back from that. So that's why the Seattle Super Bowl down 10 to the greatest defense we've seen since the Baltimore Ravens in 2000, probably, right? 2000.
100%.
And maybe even beyond. That was the 100%.
That
goes down as the greatest. That goes down as Brady's kind of masterpiece for me, and what people thought might have been the twilight of his career. The most pressure, his legacy was on the line. They hadn't won a Super Bowl since 2004. They had lost 2 to that point in 07 and 11. He was coming off the Deflategate bullshit. So 2014 will always resonate with me. Ray?
I'm just going to say a few things, and then I'm going to have you guys answer for me.
Okay.
Third quarter. 2:12 left, down 28-3.
Oh, here we go.
That is his masterpiece.
No, it's not.
against
it's
Atlanta, going 43 for 62, 466 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, quarterback rating 95.2.
Give me 14 for 16 for 144 yards and 2 touchdowns against the greatest defense that we've seen since 2000. That's coming off the Super Bowl champions from the year before. Thank you.
Down 25 points in the third quarter.
I don't
with
give
only
a shit.
12
I do
left.
not give a shit.
That is amazing.
That's a
I
full
do
team
not give
effort,
a
Ray.
shit.
That's a
That's
full,
team effort. You're talking about the best defense we've seen since 2000 Ravens.
He had 2
Super Bowl
touchdowns in the
defending
fourth
Super Bowl
down.
fucking champions.
And by
fourth
full
quarter.
team effort, I include the Atlanta Falcons and their idiotics. Idiotic behavior.
But if we're talking about masterpieces, you don't think that's a masterpiece right there?
It is.
It
No,
is a
look,
masterpiece,
okay.
but when you go against the best defense that we've seen in 20 fucking years.
All right, I'm not going to agree with Rich and say, hey, Rich, I'm going to piggyback off your point. Seattle, great. I'm fucking bring up another point, Bill, you stupid fucking cunt.
And I'm debating your fucking dumbass take by backing up Rich's point.
Oh,
Ray-
I agree. I agree with Rich. Seattle was a great fucking game. Probably one of his best. Going against the best defense ever that we've seen in our lifetime. But against Atlanta, down 25 points in the third quarter.
Kobe,
No!
dead to me.
Down 25 points. 2:12 left in the third quarter. Coming back from that is amazing. It's just amazing. Not giving up.
That's not the Mona Lisa, though. Mona
You're
Lisa's
right.
Seattle.
You're right. You're right, Ray. I will. Let's just dive into 28-3 because it may not be Seattle, and I think we all agree it's not Seattle because of the position that they're in. If they lose Seattle, you don't get Atlanta.
No,
Probably.
you're right.
If you lose Seattle, you're 3-3. You're looking at a completely different fucking legacy for Tom Brady if you lose Seattle, right? So 28-3 might not even happen. So So to talk about 28-3, the 25-point comeback against Atlanta, I talk about being a New England fan. I live in a state to be unknown. I do not live in New England anymore at this current time. I watch
Maryland.
with a lot of thank you, Bill. I watch with a lot of non-New England fans that are friends of mine that support me and whatever. And when we're watching that game and the Patriots are playing as poorly as they're fucking playing and they're not bringing the normal Patriot behavior, I'm going, there's no fucking chance they're winning. I go, this game's fucking over. And everybody around me is saying, look, it's the Patriots. You got Brady. You got a chance. And they were literally saying that basically until they started to make that comeback. So I think, that's another, that's the way the world thinks of Tom Brady. As New Englanders, we can't because we're built with
New
cynicism.
Englanders.
We're built with the world's going to burn on our graves. But
you know why, Rich? Because we grew up Red Sox fans that have been breaking our hearts forever. Because I'll tell you what, it was a small Super Bowl party. It was 28-3. We started gambling. We were playing craps, and we're like, screw this game. And if I wasn't at a Super Bowl party, I would have shut the game off and went to sleep. Because why? Because we're New England fans. We didn't expect this.
Also, if you went to sleep, you thought it might help.
Yeah, because it would ease the pain.
You thought for some reason
easing the pain.
You thought if I just don't watch for a while, maybe they'll come back. The fact that I'm watching, that's why they're playing bad.
Oh man, every time I go to sleep, it's like, all right, they're down 4 touchdowns. Maybe they'll come back because maybe my luck is bad for them. But if you want to talk like the 14 not happening, Brady or 16 not happening, if you lose in 14, Jimmy Garoppolo started in 2016.
Oh,
that's a hot take. I don't want to get there yet, Bill. Hold on thought, because I do want to just talk a little bit, because this is the Brady boner hour. It's not the Jimmy fucking Garoppolo boner.
No, I know, but I just want to throw that point out there. If 14 doesn't happen, Garoppolo.
Yeah, Bill was ready to move on. He might trade Brady, but Brady won that one and forced the hand maybe. It cannot. I don't think 28-3 can be understated enough. I think you're right, Ray. I think it's really, really fucking close with Seattle. I just think the stakes in the competition put Seattle that notch above his masterpiece. But 28-3, yes, it's a team effort. Yes, you need a left tackle to fucking hold. You need Matt Ryan to take a sack like an idiot and Dante Hightower to make a fucking play. You need Julio Jones to catch the ball in field goal territory and then watch all of those mistakes happen to not ice the game. All of those things need to happen in order for Brady to get the opportunity to do what he did. But look, I don't know if there's a quarterback in the history of the NFL that, if given the opportunities that Brady got in the Atlanta Super Bowl, would have done what he did.
Yeah.
You could feel it. You could feel it when it started to roll. Because you guys know when you were watching the Super Bowl and the Atlanta defense was fast, man. You went, holy shit, they're fast. In the first quarter, it was like, God damn, they're moving.
Brady Jarrett had 3 sacks.
Who's that guy? Number 45, Dion.
No, Grady Jarrett was 45.
No.
Whatever. Julio Jones was eating them up. Deontay Freeman was fucking running all over us. The defense could not. Our defense could not hold them. It looked outmatched. But the Patriots were moving the ball. The Patriots were moving the ball the whole first half. They just didn't get points.
They couldn't score. Yeah.
And then the post game, the audio that came out of Belichick and the sidelines were, look, we're in this game. We're not playing that badly. We're in this game. We just need possessions. And then in the end of the third quarter, they got that first touchdown. And you watch Brady's eyes. You'd seen that before. You'd seen those eyes before. Fucking laser focused.
Well, you heard him on the sidelines.
Jules is sitting right next to him, absolutely laser focused.
For your mom. Do it for your mom.
Do it for your mom, bro. Do it for your mom, bro. Gronk was cranking one out to fucking Monster Energy drinks in the corner, and they were ready to fucking go. And now, and two-point conversions. Danny Amendola. I mean, that unbelievable. When they got down 8, I went, oh shit, they're gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna do it. And I hated myself for saying that as a New England fan. I was like, shit, I should not be thinking this. I should not be thinking this. Right now, yeah. But I guarantee you, if they get the ball back, they are going to tie this game, and then they're gonna win it because Atlanta are choking dogs. Those fucking losers. It was the perfect combination. It was the perfect combination of winners and losers. The Atlanta Falcons and the New England Patriots.
The best was when the owner
happens 28-3.
Oh, Arthur
Blake goes down to the field and you see his face like, oh fuck, we're gonna lose.
The biggest fucking comic villain looking motherfucker on the planet. It's like, we're gonna win.
No shit.
Let's kill all the and then they fucking lose.
I didn't think that, dude. Even after they scored the touchdown,
oh shit,
was James White scored right before that last 2-point conversion to Amendola. Like, even at the 2-point conversion, I'm like, there's no fucking way they're making this. There's no fucking way. And
that's New England fan coming out in you.
Yeah, dude, for sure. We've been heartbroken for years.
So let's. So
where do you
put
one
that?
thing though? I'll say one thing though. That back shoulder throw that he had to Hogan in overtime was one of the best throws he's ever made. Coming back, that was a Peyton Manning throw in overtime when he was money. Was disgusting. Brady to Hogan, Chris Hogan in overtime. Alfred was right on him. And
he was because he's dead to you.
I get it. But this is supposed to make our dicks hard. So Brady's not dead to me for this segment. And Ray, can you make a segment without fucking taking your headphones off?
Yeah, can you sit down,
Jesus
Ray?
Christ, can you
back
hold
hurts,
your key,
boys. My back hurts
for 30 seconds.
I was bleeding a little. I
don't think we can do a segment without the 40-minute time limit. We are completely off the fucking rails. It's complete nonsense.
It's your fault, Rich.
A couple games. Fuck you, Ray. Snow game.
I was gonna say that the tuck rule.
Tuck rule, snow game.
That's
an Adam Vinatieri game. Is that an Adam Vinatieri game?
But if he doesn't have the tuck rule, that's a Brady game.
No, it's a Brady game because he led the team down the field. Adam
Vinatieri hit a 45-yard kick in a fucking hurricane, snow hurricane.
48.
That's an Adam Vinatieri. Snow game's an Adam Vinatieri game. I'm sorry. But I don't remember. I obviously
remember Brady's first touchdown.
Yeah, he ran in, spiked it, and fell over.
Fell on his ass.
Love it. But that's not the fourth quarter. That's not even the fucking end of the game. Adam Vinatieri, that fucking kick that ducked its way through the fucking snow and the wind and barely made it over, and then he made another, 37, 35, 37 in overtime? Come on, man. That's not a Mediterranean game. Don't get me wrong.
Then is the 01 Super Bowl and the Carolina Panthers Super Bowl an adversary game then?
No, because the Brady took him down 2 minutes, Bray. You're an idiot. And I was just going to give you a little fucking cookie to chew on, you fat fuck. I was going to give you a little fucking chocolate chip cookie to chew on and say in 2001 Snowball, Drew Bledsoe doesn't win that game. As much as it's an Adam Vinatieri game, Drew Bledsoe does not win that game. It still takes the Tom Brady throws that it takes. But basically what it did was Charlie Weiss, running back, tight end.
Jermaine Wiggins had, 11 catches?
Yeah.
11 catches that game. Him and David Patton.
John Gruden, why don't you stack the box? It's snowing like 1978. They can't throw it more than 15 yards. So, no. Drew Bledsoe does not win that game, right? I'll give you that. Chew on that little cookie. Take that home with you. But that's an Adam Vinatieri game.
Tuck Rule is a fumble.
Tuck Rule was a fumble. Let that be known, New England, you fucking crybabies. At 3, diehard fucking Patriots fans.
Tuck Rule is a fumble.
Tuck Rule is a fumble, but also
fuck yeah.
It was called correctly. But
also you Oakland little fucking cunts. It was called correctly. So
Vegas or Oakland now?
Dude,
they are.
That was a fumble in today's NFL, but that was called correctly. And
it was called correctly in the time. So shut the fuck up.
Suck a dick.
Let's start. Suck a dick. Yeah. So the other, I think we already Bill, you kind of touched on it, but when Brady became Brady, you had talked about the affirmation that Carolina Super Bowl, but we've talked about it before. I think you're closer to 07. I'm firmly in 2006. I am firmly on 2006 as the season that Tom Brady became Tom Brady, because he made receivers that did not belong on an NFL roster look good. And if it wasn't for a 21-3 blowout, and rest in peace Rashay Caldwell drop, you're talking about your fourth Super Bowl in, I don't want to do the math, 6 years.
Yeah, it would have been 4 out of 6.
But that was a Brady-led team, where 2004, it's still the same defensive roster. I understand that. And 2007 was even the same defensive roster. But that's a Brady-led team. That offense, they started to lean on Tom Brady in 2006, where in 2007 they absolutely gave him the reins. They started to lean on Tom Brady, I believe, in 2006.
Yeah, I think that's when you saw, like I've said, kind of that 07 season, you saw him go like the 50 touchdowns. But as far as you say, Rich, the 06, I could agree with you there, because he's really coming to his own. Rashay Caldwell, Doug Gabriel, Jabbar Gaffney. You're talking about the no names of the no names.
Exactly.
And Troy Brown was still there, and then you're blowing a 21-3 lead in the AFC Championship game that you had no right to blow. So, I mean, if you want to put anything on that 06 season, that was when I agree with you. That's when you saw Brady become the best quarterback of all time. Because
hot take, best quarterback of all time, 06?
Yeah, and the talk was there. The talk
turning
was there
into best quarterback of all time, or you think?
No, I think by
let's look in 2014. If he lost that, he was going to go. People were still putting Peyton Manning above him.
But I'm saying at the time in 06, if he isn't, I'm hungry. What are we eating? Your mother's pussy. Your mother's pussy. No, but like 06, like the talk was there after he won the third. It's like, okay, are we looking at?
You have to heat that up, or
no. It's 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit. At all
okay,
times.
Body temperature. Got it.
I just spit that out. Well done.
You don't have to clean that up, right?
No, it's a trash can. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
It's my fucking house. Clean it up, you cunt. No, but again, Rich, 06, I think you saw him carry that team. He was the best guy on that team. But before Indy, dude, he threw, 4 picks against San Diego? 3 picks against San Diego?
What did I just talk about? What did I just talk about Tom Brady? You could look at his playoff record and go, look, he's not the best quarterback to ever play in the playoffs, but he's played like fucking 6 seasons in terms of the amount of playoffs that he's played versus guys that have as versus guys that have played, 6 or 7 games. The guy's got a whole career just in the playoffs. And, you're playing the best competition when you get into the playoffs. And the idea of having a bad game in San Diego, having a terrible game in San Diego, and then going to Indianapolis, who are widely considered the best team in the league, favored to go to the Super Bowl, and getting a 21-point lead or a 21-3 lead that inevitably was blown. And that's Brady. That's Brady. He doesn't let the shitty play affect his good play, and that's why he's been able to maintain greatness up until now. Up until 2019, when he became a petulant little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Cunt is the right word, Rich. Sorry.
I'm sorry about that. Sorry
right.
for misuse
Or bleeding
of
vagina,
vocabulary.
or bleeding vagina, but whatever you want.
So look, guys. So for listeners, this is the second time we've done Brady Hour. Anybody who's listening, we lose audio quite often. Simple Mind Sports Show. This is what this is called. I will say, boys, I think our first round of this was a little bit more
way better.
enthusiastic.
That's always what happens.
I think the dedicated time that Brady has had with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and the more time he gets with Tampa Bay Buccaneers, has completely affected the way we look at Tom Brady as a New England Patriot, and it's only going to get worse. And that's why I can't wait for November or December when we walk in Gillette and Ray is wearing that stupid fucking orange Buccaneers Brady jersey, and he is top 5 MVP votes. MVP, and the Patriots are 500 fighting for a playoff position, and Ray goes flaunting his number 12 in the face of the Foxborough faithful.
And
we are fucking shouting it from a goddamn loudspeaker. Look at this piece of shit. Look at him. Look at him. And we have a bell that you have to ring. And
Shame.
Shame.
Rich, we need a podium. Ray's got a truck. We'll build a podium, and we will not let him move the whole tailgate.
Yeah. The only thing he can wear is the jersey. Other than that, he's Winnie Poohing it. Naked, everything else.
Yeah.
Just the fucking jersey.
Yep.
Tuck it between my legs. Don't worry about it, boys.
Yeah,
make it look like a mangina.
Yep.
We'll gather a crowd. We'll give people raw vegetables and just
start fucking chucking
just like old English style at the gauntlet, just throwing fucking tomatoes at you.
Dude, we might have to park in the parking lot. So not only will your jersey fuck you, but it's gonna fuck us when we try to leave later because we got to go to the degenerates in the parking lot. Not the not the fucking the best parking lot of all time is where I park, but we might have to go to the deep P10 parking lot.
Ugh.
I'm not going anywhere where it takes me more than an hour to get out of there.
Oh, good. Then you want to go where I park.
You'll go with Gaff. You
want to go where I park. Dude, we're out in 15 minutes. The longest thing to get out of there is the walk from the car to the walk from the stadium to the car. You take 2 turns, you're on the highway, no traffic.
We're not going to name that any of you assholes trying to steal our spot. Trying to steal our spot, sons of bitches. Hey, anyway, so this is the Simple Mind Sports Show, Brady Boner Hour. I'm sorry that you're probably only half mass at this point. We didn't bring our whole kit and caboodle because Brady's turned into such a fucking tool. But we still got the memories, boys. And when he retires, we'll forget about his Tampa time. But in real time, he's dead to us. Mm-hmm. Thanks. I gotta pee.
kick it.